Hello!
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Content Creators Connect. Here we are, all about encouraging the three C's: connecting with others via video, content development that builds your personal brand, and we are creators sharing our experiences despite our distance.
The C3 team member leading this evening is Manny Rodriguez, right over here, also known as Coach Manny. He is coaching us up in the world of social media marketing, as well as pursuing his passion for streaming true crime. Manny, your topic this evening: trimming Facebook videos. So, inquiring minds have got to know, how often do you trim your Facebook videos, and what value do you think there really is in trimming them?
Great question. And honestly, not very much. But there are those times where something doesn't go very well at the beginning of the stream or at the end of the stream. And you're like, man, I would love to trim that out. For example, I was working with a client. I'm working on this new software. Dory had to come to my rescue. And at the beginning, getting used to it, we didn't know that the stream had actually started, right? And so, what does that mean? We're just talking like shooting the poop, waiting. That doesn't sound like something you want at the beginning of a stream, right? So, what did I do after the live was done? I had to go back and trim out the garbage stuff. So, does it happen a lot? No. Thankfully, it doesn't happen a lot, right? Otherwise, that's a lot of mistakes. But there are those times where we would like to eliminate those simple little mistakes. Maybe the audio at the beginning wasn't working. We've had that happen, right? So it's like, I think that it's key to know how to do it, but you can only do it after you on a Facebook live, or should I say off of a Facebook live. Kevin, have you ever done any trimming on a Facebook live?
Yes, I have. Sort of for those very same reasons. Sort of at the beginning of a stream, you have your sort of countdown timer to get your audience all hyped up for it. So as they're coming in, and then at the very end, after you finish going live and sort of cut off your stream, you may have an outro sort of thing. So yeah, I've gone in to sort of trim, like I say, trim the fat at the beginning to get rid of that countdown timer, so it just dives right into that content, and at the very end, get rid of that sort of static screen, if I could speak, um, to get rid of that at the end as well. So um, I've done that quite a few times, but I've noticed I've fallen out of the habit of doing it just because I think I'm getting too lazy. But what about you, Dory? Have you used Facebook to do any trimming for any of your videos?
Well, as you guys know, Facebook has been my main platform since I started, and I used to trim videos legit all the time. And I, like you, Kevin, have moved away from it. I'm not 100% sure why. It could be a little bit laziness. I don't know. But I do see a value in trimming the fat. So, for example, like you mentioned, the countdown timers at the beginning. I religiously do that on our C3 videos each week. Um, as Manny said, if there's a little bit of a hiccup at the beginning of a live stream, definitely go back and remove that so that your audience doesn't have to wade through the muck to get to your message. So I 100% agree that we should be doing it more often. And I think this is going to be the kick in the butt that I need to actually go back and start doing it. So if this is the kick in the butt that you need, because this is the type of content you would like to see more of, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell, ding, ding, ding. That way you get notified whenever we go live. And now, without further ado, it is Manny.
Thank you so much, Dory. And truth is, my thought process is the better you get at this stuff, the less trimming you have to do. You know, generally you're trimming out a mistake, right? You're trimming out something that you didn't mean for that to happen. And so, with that being said, sometimes it happens. Sometimes, like myself, I'm learning a new software. Honestly, I have not had to trim a video since COVID days when we were doing this big networkathon, and we had 100 people on live using Zoom, and so some of that I had to trim. That really was the last time I've probably had to trim on Facebook. Now, you're going to probably wonder to yourself, what's the difference like Facebook trimming, YouTube trimming? If I'm correct, Facebook had the live trim option longer than YouTube. Big difference is Facebook is only beginning, only end. Whereas YouTube, you can actually try to fix a little more of your mistakes, not just beginning, not just the end. And so, but there's a little value there because sometimes, especially if you're new to streaming, you're going to make mistakes if you do live streaming, right? It's natural. You're going to mess up your audio when you start implementing audio. You're going to mess up your screen shares that you're like, oh, I didn't have my audio on. I can tell you multiple times where I'm streaming, I did not have my audio come through. I would catch it and then go back and talk about what I missed, right? Come on. The person who is now watching your video and hears this deafening sound, they're going to be like, wait a second. Maybe this is the rest of the video and it's all quiet the rest. I'm not going to sit around and wait. Maybe I'll go through a few seconds. Maybe I'll go through another seconds. It's still quiet. I'm out of here, right? Mistakes happen. Truth is, some people are forgiving of your mistakes. Some people are not. And I can tell you, as someone who is very imperfect, I'm all about growing. With growth comes painful growth sometimes. And so, like learning this new MacBook Pro, it's, for some it's probably easy. For me, it's a whole new freaking language. So it's like I don't even know how to freaking put my downloads in the right section, right? It's all a learning. It's a painful learning curve a little bit because you're so used to something. But what did I have to do? I had to start making those mistakes while I learned so I can get better at it. So I just did it, right? My clients are understanding. I've ran into a hiccup or 3, but it happens. But when you're doing your Facebook Live, you're going to have little hiccups. And so I want to share with you simple way to trim off, as Dory put it, a little of that fat that doesn't belong. Oh, wait, is that the word you use? I don't know what word. I already forgot what word you use. But get rid of that junk you don't really need in that streaming. Okay, so this used to be a different process. When Dory said she used to do it, she probably used to just go to her Facebook page, click edit, boom, you see the trimming. It's not like that. It's actually Facebook over the years of, it used to be Facebook, right? Now it's Facebook by Meta, right? It's hard to keep up with these people. Now there's threads, there's things going on all the time. And so this trimming version is the most current version on how to trim. It may change in 2024. Let me tell you, I did a Facebook Live on my channel. This was 3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't even know. Time flies. But I did a how to trim a Facebook Live. It's changed so much since then. I figured I probably should do another one. And this is perfect. Because right now we're on like probably 11 different channels. I don't know, maybe more, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I want to keep this super simple, okay? And I'm going to do my best not to confuse you. Now remember something. Facebook now is more meta. So the first thing you're going to want to realize is that you kind of got to go into the Meta Business Suite to start trimming out this stuff. So the first thing you're going to do, I'm going to walk you through this step by step. Let's make sure I get the right one. Why do I have 2 new tabs? They're both new. Okay, that looks right. Let's see. Okay.
You just let me know when you're ready to switch me over.
Am I over? I'm ready.
Not yet.
If I have the right one.
Let me see.
Yeah, there we go. Let me see
Okay.
my mouse moving. Okay, I must have 2 up. I took that down.
Okay.
I see a new tab somewhere, but I gotta find that. Where I don't understand why I have this. Okay, there we go. I need to close that. There we go. I didn't know I had this open, and I don't want to even confuse myself. Okay, so let me do that again. Okay, here we go. Now I'm ready, Dory.
You are good to go.
We are on a blank sheet of paper, and I'm going to give this to you in 6 simple steps, okay? So you can either write down per step, or we can walk through it if you have a video that you'd like to trim out right now while we're live. The first thing you want to realize is you can't do this on your phone. This is only available on desktop. It's important to know because a lot of people want to do everything from their phones, and this is not one of those things that you can do. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to business.facebook.com. Once you go into business.facebook, you get all your options of all the different pages that you manage and stuff like that, right? So I'm going to, let's find C3. We're going to go to the C3 page, and let's just say, oh, I'm going too fast here. Let me slow down. So I'm on the home page. The next step is, I don't think you guys see the left. Dory, do you see my left side, my left panel? Can you move my screen over?
See, I can't. Wait, hold on. How about let me try to zoom you out.
Or I can move it over. Oh, there we go.
How about that?
It's not showing on your screen, but can I move it over maybe? I don't see it on the screen that you're sharing. Maybe I'll go to the whole page. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, because I have it. Let me try this. How about that? Is that good?
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay.
Okay.
So if you see to the left, that's your panel, right? You can see home, notifications, your planner. This is where you really want to do a lot of your business activities. This is where you should be spending most of your time if you're dealing with a lot of your Facebook content. You see on the content, you can see all of your content. You can see we're live right now. You cannot trim a live video. You also cannot trim a video that you boosted. If you boosted and you put money into an ad, you cannot trim that video, okay? Just so you know. So you see all of our previous content, okay? If Dory said, okay, let's go back and trim out the beginning, Dory generally does the trimming part on YouTube, and you can see it's no longer, okay, share this tab instead. I see that, okay? So once I clicked on the content, it took me to all my content. Did you guys see that I was able to click on the edit video? Okay, good. So once you click on edit video, if you notice, it opened up a new tab. That's why my screen was no longer sharing. It opens up a new tab and it takes you to Live Producer. Live Producer's been around for a while, literally. And that's generally where you had to go do all of your editing stuff. Now you have to go through the suite. You could probably still get to Live Producer when I really think about it, but I wanted to walk you through step by step. Now you got your quick actions. You can see right here the quick actions there. You have view post, trim your video, create a clip from your video. Okay, if you just wanted to look at the post, obviously view post. Trim your video, that's what we're doing. Now, create a clip from your video is you're still taking a portion of that, but you're bringing it to highlight. Trim your video, you're getting rid of something. Now, I'm going to click on trim your video. Okay. This video has already been trimmed. So it looks like, Dory, did you trim that? The timer? Yeah. So Dory trimmed it. I am going to do that another way because that was already,
I'm so sorry.
That is okay. This is the first time I'm looking at that. So, okay, I'm going to change pages so that I can stick with this plan. Let's see. There we go. Okay.
So if you trim, can you go back and trim again, or is it locked after the first trim?
It depends on when you're done with it. Like right away, you get options to keep. You can even get back to your original plan. Now, I don't know if Dory was to open it since she was the first one to trim it, but let's see what that looks like. I'm going to change. Oh, I got to share screen again. There we go. Okay. So I'm back on the suite. I'm going to change to a different profile. All right, it's thinking a long time. Okay, this is one of my clients, and we do a live every single week. Is it still thinking here? What's going on? There we go. So once again, this was our last live that we did from past Friday. Okay, again, click on the three dots, edit posts, and this is what that will look like. And I got to share this tab because it opened up a new tab. So here we go again. Trim your video. Now, this is the video. This is what it would look like, right? This is the whole video, 5 minutes. Now, the yellow is what you're deciding you want to trim. So for example, we want to trim, like, say, the first 15 seconds, and then we want it to end, you know, maybe the last 15 seconds, right? In our case, when you saw this video today, when you first tuned in, it had a countdown. So what Dory did, she'll go over to this part here, the very beginning, and move it all the way to where the countdown ends. And that's where the video will begin. Okay, so once I find the spot that I want to stop it at, there's two ways you can do this. One of two ways. One of two ways that you can do this. Okay, so you can move this line to where you want it, or you can just add it, the timestamp, wherever timestamp that it starts. If you know I want this to start at 15 seconds, then you put in 15 seconds. If you want it to end at a certain way, then you have it end at that time. Once you are ready, you'll click the trim and it's in progress. Now, it will take a little bit, okay? I did not mean to trim this, so I'm just showing you. I'm going to untrim, okay? So we're going to untrim it to get rid of it. On you as an example. So it's literally that simple to trim a video. Now, let's show you as an example so you can see the difference. Let me go back to my sharing this screen. Dory, I think I'm getting better at remembering to move my tabs around. And Don't forget. Okay, so now remember, that was trimming my video, right? Remember, it takes you to a new one. Now I can create a clip from that video. Basically the same thing. Maybe you want to highlight a clip. Man, this was a funny part. For example, watch this. All right. She brought her partner moved away. You know, she's really sad about losing her partner. And so she brought her friend with her today, her very close buddy. Right? So when she introduces him, maybe we want to take the clip of the dog, right? Maybe we just want to highlight the dog, listening to her, and boom. But you got to know where you want to start and where you want to end. This is the difference between trimming it and create a clip. I can take this clip now where it's highlighted, create a clip of that little piece, and then it'll be posted to my timeline. So it's key to notice the difference there. Now, let's go back to Dory. I am stopping the trim. So if you could put me back to that main screen there. So when you're doing this, it does come in handy if you do a lot of live streaming, like we live stream. Dory live streams every day. Kevin live streams, what, 2-3 times a week. I live stream 2-3 times a week, right? We're always live streaming. And we're live streaming to multiple platforms. I see Dory on YouTube. I see her on Facebook. So, and guess what? If she has those little hiccups, guess what? She can trim it on YouTube. She could trim it on Facebook. So what happens to your comments? Let's say you trim out the first 45 seconds and you had some comments coming in. Do you lose your comments? No, you do not lose your comments. The difference being that if you had comments at timestamp 25 seconds and you trimmed out the first 45 seconds, the timestamp of that comment is going to show zeros, just like that. So then that's how you know that comment came in during something that is actually not even in that stream anymore. So let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you this. Dory, especially you, because I see you every single morning. And now that you've probably perfected your streaming, do you run into little hiccups where it's like at the beginning, you might think about trimming again? Is that, I see, like, no, I'm almost perfect, not really perfect?
Nobody's perfect.
Exactly.
Nobody's perfect. Should I switch us over, Manny, or
Yes,
do you have
yes,
more
that's great.
demonstration?
No
All right.
more shares. Yep, we're perfect.
I just want to make sure that we're all on screen together.
Truth.
So, as far as, so I do not consider my streams to be perfect. I am constantly having hiccups. I do want to re-stress the fact that I still believe that there is huge value in trimming, for sure. I do have two things though. So, number one, I have a slightly disappointing statement. Facebook makes me a little sad face because you can't trim videos on your personal profile.
That's right. You go to your personal mostly.
Yeah. So I go live. I mean, so here's my streaming flow right now. My Dispense Dish daily goes to my personal profile, it goes to my business page, and it goes to YouTube. So I do a 1 minute, like, let's get going countdown timer, just 1 minute. I can trim it off YouTube. I can trim it off my business page. I cannot trim it off my personal profile.
I do want to say though, now when we create the event on our stream, you can put that on your profile, right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
At one time, you couldn't do that because you have a digital creator profile. Now you can do that. I think that down the road, you may get that option. I think that there's still, because the reason why, like, say, I don't have the digital creator profile because it's still rolling out. So that's part of the, you know, how they like to test by rolling features out slowly. I do
Right.
believe that that is down the road, being the
Well-
digital creator profile.
Well, one of the things that I had gotten slightly excited about when you announced that you were going to do this topic, I kind of went back and I was like, oh, I want to refresh and see, why did I actually stop doing this? You know? And I thought, oh, well, my personal profile has switched over to the professional dashboard. So maybe, just maybe. And then my answer was no.
So you checked?
I did check. But a couple things that did excite me about what you were just talking about. The first is comments. So one of the things that I absolutely love is the fact that even if you trim a video with Facebook, those comments don't disappear if you trim that part of the video away, which is not the case on YouTube. If you trim something, I do believe those comments that come in during that time go away.
Mm-hmm.
If someone out there can correct me if I'm wrong on that, please feel free to do so.
You are correct.
And the other thing is creating clips, which I know Kevin has some questions that I starred here for like creating highlights and clips. So I'm going to hold that. But I love the idea of using that recorded video to create smaller clips, more bite-sized content. I love that idea. So, Kevin, I'm going to swing it over to you. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely had a couple of questions for Manny that we can go through in just a little bit. But no, I love the concept of taking your video and trimming it down for bite-sized pieces. I do like to go a little bit lengthy on my videos, on my live videos. So to be able to capture just little snippets and then post it onto your highlights or to your Instagram reels as well, to be able to pull in viewers from different audiences. But you can't put the whole 50-minute, 60-minute video on your Instagram to be able to capture that new audience. So I love that idea of being able to go back to your video and sort of as you're trimming the beginning and the end, it's like, well, there was a couple of spots right in the middle that I think would be ideal for a highlight for your Facebook. And then either putting it on, I don't know, are you able to download those highlights and then sort of upload it as a video to a personal? Or are you able to share a highlight like that to a personal? Or does it have to be only on your business page?
You can share it. I've not personally done it where I've downloaded. I've used the clips. I've not really actually checked for the download portion because we generally leave it right there on that platform. We're not treating it like a short or, you know, a TikTok or anything like that per se to really repurpose that. It's just generally the clip is just a highlight of that moment. So I've never really, that's a great question. I would have to actually look into that one.
And sort of along those lines is when you create the highlight, does it actually create a separate video and keep your original one? And just
yes, you
insert
don't
that
lose
into
it. Yes, you don't lose the whole video itself. Like with the trim, whatever you're trimming, you're getting rid of. With this, you're just taking a clip of that and then creating it to like, you know, where you can create collages of things.
So then in your profile, you'll have that clip as well as your full length video.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Now, Kevin, you had another question regarding the time limit.
Yeah,
So
with
were you,
regards to the highlights portion, do you know if there is a set time limit, like 60 seconds or 45 seconds or something like that, or is it
You mean like a minimum?
yeah
or a
um,
max?
yeah, minimum or a max?
What? No, because it's whatever part of the video that you're talking about, the clip part.
Yes.
Yeah, it's whatever part of that video that you want to use out of it and make a clip out of it. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be like 60 seconds. It doesn't have to be a minute and a half. It just has to be basically what part of this to this that you want to keep. Whatever you decide there, you get to keep. That's your clip.
I think,
And
Kevin,
then
you and I were on the same page there because I was getting it confused with us talking about the remix from YouTube where there's time limits for repurpose. So my brain was working kind of like yours with the time limit thing.
like I was sort of thinking more along the lines of reels and stories on Facebook. Basically, can you create a clip like that, and then can you bring it in and then use the editing tools for the story and the Instagram reels to enhance your clip that you just created from a highlight from your live?
Well, and again, I have to look, and you're saying taking that portion, repurposing it as within your TikTok that you're creating, or within your Instagram reel that you're creating.
Correct.
Or your Facebook stories. So staying within the platform. Yeah.
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 Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and I would imagine that you can. I've not personally used that clip for anything other than, highlighting something of that particular video. But that's a great, I like the way you see those creative juices are flowing.
Yep.
I love that. And then, Kevin, your last question, I'm pretty sure I answered because you have to have, it has to be a business page that you trim from.
Has to be a business page, yeah.
Has to be a business page, so.
Yeah.
And what are you able to convert, just for those that are watching? Can you convert a page that you have over to a business page, or do you have to recreate and create it as a business page?
You're saying from your profile?
Correct.
Yeah, because your personal thing isn't a page; it's a profile. So there's
Correct.
language there. Yeah,
you can. You do have the ability within Facebook to convert, like to take your profile and make it into and carry over your pictures and your content over. Yes, you can convert it over to it. The big thing with you need a profile for a business page. You cannot have a business page without a profile. Like that's just how they, number one, know who you are and know that you're a real person. At least they try anyway. But you cannot have a business page without a personal profile. Same thing with the live producer, Facebook business. That's why they're trying to keep you on everything Facebook. And so with Facebook, using the business suite, they want you in there posting your stuff, scheduling your stuff, creating your reels through there. They want you, and now probably Threads will be on there before you know it. So they want you all in that business suite operating your business stuff.
And as far as the conversion, I haven't tried it in a while. I know that, like going in the Wayback Machine, you could do it with a single click of a button. And then when people started heavily using Facebook, less for personal connections and more for network marketing, then it became a spam issue, and Facebook kind of hid the process for you to be able to do that because people were getting a bunch of personal friends and getting their friends list up to like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people, and then converting it to a business page and going, oh, well, look at all this influence that I have because I have 5,000 followers. I'm an influencer. And so then they kind of shut that down because it became a spam issue. And then there were kind of some backdoor hacks that you could do. Now, Facebook has done a lot of updates since the last time someone asked me if you could do it. And so I haven't attempted it in a while. I kind of feel like I want to mess around with that again tomorrow and see if you really can still do that.
I'm very
Yeah,
curious as well.
You definitely can still convert to a business.
Because, yeah, I've created a bunch of different community pages, and they ended up sort of being like personal profiles. But to be able to make use of the business suite, you did have to convert them over so that I can do the scheduling of posts. And yeah, Facebook, you're able to tie in your Facebook and Instagram accounts together so that it can be done all in that one platform, which is makes it very handy for scheduling posts.
Right. I'm gonna mess with that. But Manny, if you have the exact steps that are still accurate, I'd love for you to send them to me so that I can just play around with that tomorrow. Just for
To
pure
convert
curiosity and
your
geek's sake.
now you have a digital profile, so I'll be curious how that looks.
Yeah, that's why I want to.
That's
I definitely
different
would
than
want.
like say mine.
Yeah, I definitely would want to play, mess around, just for the geekiness of it. But I think that we have hit all of the questions. Manny, any parting words? I just want to say this was amazing. You did a very excellent job of demonstrating and walking us through in incredibly easy to understand steps. I'm just throwing that out there at you.
I appreciate that. I truly am a big believer in Facebook Lives, and I'm a big believer that as you start learning, you start messing up, especially at the beginning. I love what you did last week, Dory, when you brought up one of your old videos, like one of your old ones, where it was for you. Every time you put your face up there, you were cringing at yourself, because you remember that moment. And let me tell you, I have my first videos out there, and it was like, oh my gosh, can you look so much more obvious about looking at those words? And so my point being, when you first start, it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be simple. Your butterflies and those bellies is going to hurt and like make you stumble through your words. And I want to say with trimming, it makes it at least a little easier when you get started, because truth is, at the very beginning, it's the most important part of hooking them in and keeping them involved in the video. So if you mess up at the beginning, you can easily lose a lot of your audience. So I think it's key to know how to simply trim a Facebook Live. And we should probably also do the YouTube live trimming as well. So that should be on one of our future channels. Dory or myself can easily do that one as well. So I think things like this are really key, because once you start diving into your live streaming, part of that is learning, growing, and making mistakes. Trimming helps you, fix a little bit of those mistakes. So those are my parting words.
All right.
And my friends, with that being said, if you enjoy content like this and you're finding it useful, we would love it if you'd like and subscribe to our channel. And sharing this content is also a great way to spread the love. Please share if you got value. And you can visit our website for all the information on ways that you can connect with us at Linktree right there on your screen /Content Creators Connect. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
And also drop down in the comments any topics that you would like us to do a further investigation or deep dive. Like Manny was saying, perhaps we could do a YouTube one and doing all the editing tools that are available there and sort of, up to date, because things are constantly changing in this space. So we want to keep on top of it and share that information with you. And with that, I'll turn it over to Dory to wrap things up.
Thank you for joining Content Creators Connect, aka C3, tonight as we saw Manny demonstrate the newest method for trimming videos on a Facebook, and it was amazing. We will return next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Kevin will be sharing more Canva goodness. More tips and tricks that most people do not know about. We will be multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So be sure to join us. Until then, we urge you to identify and lean into your 3 C's. Start today creating unique content that builds connections and breaks down those barriers. See you next week.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.
Bye.